What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Friday, people. Happy Friday. Another big weekend coming up for Arsenal as we go against West Ham on Sunday. Don't forget, we will be doing a watch along for that and every other Arsenal game, so make sure you tune in for that. Big up to everyone for tuning in today. As we look ahead to the game with Mikel Arteta's press conference, I hope you have not had your lunch because there is waffle on the way, people. Apologies for not being on yesterday. It was my friend's wedding yesterday, so I'm a little bit worse for wear today. So I might have to lean on the community to carry me through today. But big up my boy AD yesterday, getting married, man. Great day. We were celebrating all day and a good little party afterwards as well. So I'm back today, people. Lots to talk about. Bit of transfer news. Big up to the C unit. Big up to the unit. Big up everyone watching on Twitch and on YouTube, of course. And we'll hear what Mikel Arteta had to say in his press conference. Although I got to be honest, I don't really want to, but we do it. So it is what it is. Big up Fitz. Hope you're well. Didn't see you on the member stream, bro. Hope all is well. He said Frankfurt. In fact, you was typing, but you didn't come on, did you? Frankfurt against West Ham had an attacking midfielder called Kamada. Looked very good. Cost them 2.5 million. He's 25. He's the sort of intelligent buys we should make. Yeah, man. I didn't. I saw the highlights, and I knew that game was going to be tricky for West Ham because Frankfurt looked very good against Barcelona. And listen, do you know what? I was going to say send a scouting report to Arsenal, but did anyone else do this when you was a kid? I genuinely, when I was a kid, sent letters to Arsenal. Like, I think there was a hybrid them times there. I used to send letters to Arsenal, like saying, buy these players, and they never bought them players. I think one time they sent me some automated response from the receptionist just to be polite. But yeah, they never bought the players. You know, we all thought we were football managers, and yeah, I was like, buy this guy, buy that guy, man. I've seen him, but yeah, it didn't quite work out. Let's slow it down, people. Let's go into Harry Maguire mode. I'm not going to call it an Arsenal player until we drop points, so hopefully not. But yeah, no, I didn't really see that Kamada, so I can't even tell you too much about him, to be honest. But yeah, we do need to get smarter with our buys, you know. Now we just tweet them. Yeah, exactly. Just throw tweets at them. My man was sending letters back then, but hey, it is what it is, people. Lookman said, big ups, C, big ups, bro. Much love and respect from Nigeria. And you know what? Robbie is over in Nigeria at the moment with Ty and Kelechi, I believe. So, yeah, man, you might see them over there. They're in Lagos, I think, for the next 4 days. Sent you a template response. The disrespect, man, is sad. They didn't even put my name on it. It was like, dear sir or madam. Like, yeah, thanks a lot, people. But Bowen almost scored a worldie. Bowen's going to be a problem. We're going to have to handle him. But listen, do you know what? I wanted West Ham to win. I got to be honest. I do kind of like West Ham. But at the same time, I know from experience, and you'll all know, no matter what level you've played football at in the past, losing takes more energy out of you than winning, because psychologically you just feel like you failed, and it does take more energy out of you. So I look at that game, if we can look at that in some sort of positive way for Arsenal, is that I think West Ham will be tired. They've got a difficult game next week going to Germany, trying to overturn a 2-1 defeat. Now, will David Moyes rest players, or will he go for it? Because the risk that David Moyes has got, if Moyes goes full strength and you get a Bowen or an Antonio injured against Arsenal, you might have just messed up that second leg. But then on the other side, he could rest players, get knocked out against Frankfurt, and then miss out on European equaliser, So both of them played the full 90. Now, Dawson played centre-back with Zuma. Zuma has recovered, but he will be their only available centre-back against Arsenal. Dawson suspended, Ogbonna and Diop are injured, and Rangers lost as well, I see as well. Kimani said, I want all English clubs to reach their finals, City, Liverpool, West Ham and Leicester. Yeah, maybe. I don't mind when I don't feel threatened by the team, you know. But yeah, West Ham, I don't mind them doing well. Large up yourself 50 pence and shout out all the see you there. Right, people, let's get into the show properly anyway. Zuma is back somehow. Yeah, man. Elliot said, big up Curtis, back on live after my kit appearance on the member stream. Elliot came on the member stream like Ty. I was expecting headphones, hat, you know what I mean? Full kit and shin pads. Yeah, Kroenke would have been proud, man. He cleaned out the armory, I think. But big up, bro. And Graham said, Curtis, these are the games you need to start at high tempo. West Ham will be tired, and a fast start could help us get an early goal, 100%. And John said, big up, Big C. I used to send letters to Arsenal for trials. I remember my dad calling Arsenal soccer school for trials. I'd always go there in the summer, balling with my Tem Burkamp on, but they'd ignore me. House phone settings, nothing like the house phone days, man. Free calls after 6, diamond cable and all that, people. Klopp staying till 2026. That's probably not good, really, is it? Because for anyone else to go and win the title, you're probably going to need Klopp and Pep out of the way, let's be honest. Right, let's move on. Let's get into the bits and bobs of the day. Happy Friday to everyone. Make sure you lick down that like button. The weekend is here. It's bank holiday weekend in the UK, so we get an extra day on the Monday. But let's start getting into the transfer news, and then we'll talk through Arteta's waffle press conference again. So, as you can see, first story of the day, we'll start off with this one. Cedric Suarez looks as if he's on his way out of Arsenal. Am I disappointed with that? Not really. Not really. For me, I don't particularly rate him. I never understood why we signed him, if I'm being honest. And I hope that doesn't come across disrespectful. The deal didn't make sense. He was a free agent. Southampton didn't even offer him a new contract. They wanted him out. We rocked up into town and gave him, I think, a 3 or 4 year contract on 70 grand a week. The deal was crazy. It had brown envelopes written all over it. He should have got 2 years max, and it should have been at a lower wage than that. If you get 5 million euros for him, then take it. Then take it. For me, if Tomiyasu, number one, isn't an elite centre-back going forward. I think he's very good defensively, but going forward, you look at the modern fullback, look at Trent's performance the other night against Villarreal, you know, going forward, and Cancelo, what he's been doing this season. You do need fullbacks that can get forward. For me, I think Arsenal should spend a little bit of money on a second right-back to challenge him. And if we get 5 million for Cedric, let him go, man. Let him go. Let him go. Mr. Flame said, no, Cedric, please stay. I mean, listen, as a second choice right back, he's not awful, but he's not good enough. He's just not good enough. And the deal made no sense. 4 year contract. Why? Imagine Southampton turning around to player and saying, listen, we're going to let you go. You're not quite good enough for us. They signed Kyle Walker-Peters. And we rocked up and took that guy on a 4 year deal on 70 grand. Come on, man. Do me a favour. The story said Cedric Suarez will leave Arsenal at the end of the season. Porto have already made a proposal of less than 5 million euros. So you're looking at about £3 million. With Newcastle also among the clubs interested due to the player's flexibility to operate in multiple positions. I suppose you can play him right back, you can play him left back, you can play him wing back as well. I'm sure no Arsenal fan will lose sleep over Cedric Suarez leaving Arsenal. Listen, he was a free agent, but the deal didn't make sense. Max Aarons from Norwich, decent. They'll go down. I see him being linked with Barcelona. Barcelona apparently want to sell Dest, who plays at right back for them. So if you was looking at a potential right back, because listen, Arsenal aren't going to spend a fortune on a right back because we have Tomiyasu, who is a good right back. But who would you like to see come in now? Some of the names you're putting in, I'm right there with you. For me, Lamptey, as Wasim has said, is somebody that I would look at. He's rapid. He's very good going forward. Young, English. King said we should go for Walker-Peters. He's improved at Southampton. I didn't like him, to be honest, when he was at Tottenham. I thought he was bang average. But he has improved at Southampton. A lot of people say Max Aarons, they'll be relegated, Norwich, so you might be able to get him a little bit cheaper. Dest is crap, not going to lie, says Josh. Interesting. A few of you saying Spence. I mean, look, we saw him firsthand against Arsenal in the FA Cup. I think he's on loan at Forest from Middlesbrough. Somebody just put a comment in earlier. I'll respond to that now. How do you feel about Forest if they get promoted? I really want Forest to get promoted. Obviously, my hometown club. I'd love to see them back in the Prem, and I think they got a chance. I think you've made some good points there. I think Aaron's, Lamptey, Spence, they're definitely three of the names. Man said Wan-Bissaka, bro. I don't know if you if you've seen me on this stream before. Wan-Bissaka, boy, that guy there, that's got to be one of the worst deals that Man United have done. They paid 50 million for an athlete. He's bang average. The right back from Leicester. Which one would you be talking about? They've got James, is it Justin? He's decent. He had a big injury. Pereira, I've always liked Pereira, to be honest. I don't know how old he is now. Rowan said Lamptey is the best option. Wan-Bissaka, yeah, something like that. Wannabe Saka can stay at United. Yo, that brother there, man, Wan-Bissaka. Big up Shibe, he said, easy, nuts, boy, fair play. Come on, bro. Matty Cash done well. You know what? I actually met Matty Cash a few times. When he was at Forest, I saw him in Nottingham, and he was a right winger for them, and they threw him at right back, and he hasn't looked back since. I think he's a Poland international now. He's doing well. But listen, there's right back options. For me, Lamptey, Aarons, or Spence, definitely those three would be three that I'd be looking at. Justin or Castagna, yeah. Both decent. I think Castagna plays on a regular basis now. So Cedric looks like he's on his way out. Listen, 2 years left on his deal. If, and I know it is a big if we hit Champions League, Tomiyasu and Cedric is not enough for me, because Tomiyasu has shown this season already he's had injury problems, muscular injury problems. And this is with us playing basically one game a week. You know, we haven't even had Europe to contend with. So I think we get rid of Cedric for 5 million. I think Max Aarons would be good because Norwich will get relegated. You might get him for 20 odd mil. Lamptey, I really like, but I think he would be expensive. That's the only problem. Oh, Nick, don't. Can you imagine? I mean, listen, big up Hector Bellerin. He won the Spanish Cup the other day, which he did say he was going to Betis to win trophies, and he's won a trophy this season, and we haven't. But I saw a report the other day that Betis are going to struggle to get that deal done unless he takes a significant wage cut. He's on 100 grand a week. I think he's got a year left. And Betis are saying they're not going to pay him that kind of wage. So is Becky B going to end up back at Arsenal as our second choice right back? I got to be honest, I don't want to see it. You know, I'm ready for him to move on. Linked with Udinese right back Molina. Yeah, I don't know too much about him, people. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, I've seen that guy. But I honestly don't know much about him. I think I've seen him on FIFA. I watched some YouTube highlights the other day. But YouTube made Yaya Sanogo look good, so I don't want to judge him off that. Jashar said, big up Curtis. No, not Cedric. No more Cedric the Entertainer, people. Looks like he's on his way out. 5 million euros, £3 million. But let's see. Man. Graham said Arsenal should make a move for Hickey from Bologna. Just being called up to the Scotland squad. Could play left and right back. Would cost 18 million. Good squad player. I don't even know him. Got to be honest, I don't even know him, Graham. This is why the community is here. Sometimes, you know what I mean? I need to lean on the community. Molina is really good, apparently. Cash from Villa. He would be expensive. I think they paid nearly 20 million for him. I would expect them to want at least 35 million, 40 million for cash. But yeah, there's options. For me, I would go Spence, Lamptey, Aarons. No more Def Comedy Jam. Cedric the Entertainer on his way out. Nimbo's talking about a left back, and I agree with that. For me, I would loan out Nuno Tavares I would try and get him to a low Premier League team so he can learn the Prem. And I would go and sign a left back because Kieran Tierney's missed 50 games in 3 seasons. Doesn't matter how good he is, he's not available enough. So I would be looking at a left back as well. And I don't think you can go into the Champions League with Kieran Tierney injury prone and Nuno Tavares, who clearly isn't at that level yet. Like Partey, Tommy had no injuries in Italy. Comes to England and man's injured. Listen, the intensity in the Premier League is like no other. I'm telling you now, that league, this is the league where you can get beat to bottom of the league, second bottom, third bottom, you know. in Spain, in a lot of these countries, they play second bottom. They beat them 5-6-0. We play second bottom. You can get beat. You know, Man United lost to Watford earlier in the season. I think Watford are second from bottom now. The intensity is different. And like you say, you had Champions League or Europa League on top of that next season. All of a sudden, players are becoming injury prone. I think when you sign a player, you have to have an escape clause and say, right, you know what? If we're sitting here now and being honest, right? Thomas Partey has not been a major success at Arsenal. And I'm a massive fan of Thomas Partey. I think he's by far our best midfielder. But he's been massively injury prone since he came to Arsenal. And you've got to have a way out with some of these players and think 2-3 years, you've paid big money, you're paying massive wages and they're injury prone. Do you cut ties with some of these players and say, you're a good player, but you're injured too much? You know, you can't. You've got to have a way out sometimes. Now, I like Partey. I wouldn't sell him, but he's got to be on the pitch more. He's got to play 30, 32 games a season of those 38 games. This is his second year now of being an injury-prone player. It's not good enough. Tomiyasu had no injuries in Italy. All of a sudden, muscular injury problems all over the place. And then he said, leave my boy Partey alone. Oh, man. But he needs to play more. He didn't get injured hardly ever when he was playing in Spain. Let's finish with the main transfer topic of the day. And, listen, I get you, Ishmael. No one wants to sell the General, but I want the General on the pitch more often, man. Injured too much, and it's not enough. Shaquille said if Michael Edwards... if we had Michael Edwards, he'd be selling Cedric for 15 mil. He probably would. He'd go, you know, he's in the Portugal squad. He can play right back, left back. 2 years left on his deal. Give us 15 million. Arsenal will be lucky. You know, they're talking about £3 million for him. Partey revolutionised your team with the way Arsenal play. I mean, I wouldn't say revolutionised us. I think that's a bit of a stretch. Listen, he's the best midfielder we've had in a while, since probably Santi Cazorla. But he is injury prone. We can't get away from that fact. He's had injuries in both seasons that have kept him out, and they're recurring injuries as well. Shibe said, you're bang on right. This league is a different kettle of fish. It's different, man. It's different. Make sure you smash the likes, people. 1,200 of you in here. And subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the next transfer bit of business. Yeah, man, I think revolutionised was a bit of a stretch. I like Partey, but he hasn't revolutionised Arsenal. He has improved us, and he is a beast, but do you know what I mean? He's a bit of a sick note. Right, main headline of the show, people. Paulo Dybala, or Dybala. Is it Dybala? I've always called him Dybala. Arsenal are among 4 Premier League clubs and a host of top European sides to have made contact with Paulo Dybala's representatives over a potential free transfer this summer. Sources insisted there are as yet no advanced talks between any club and Dybala. And according to this report here, I've got it here, it's Arsenal, Man United, Tottenham and Newcastle. So it's people saying it's Dybala, not Dybala. Okay, Dybala. Yeah, so Tottenham, Man United, Newcastle, and Arsenal. I think we've had this discussion before, but would you take him on a free transfer? Now, I'm looking at him here. He's 28. He turns 29 in November. He currently earns £220,000 a week. He's on massive wages, which is why Juventus are letting him go. Listen, I got to be honest. I think he's a baller. I honestly do. I like him. I think he's a baller. I just don't know what level he's at anymore. You know, it seems like since Ronaldo went to Italy a few years ago, he kind of just faded into the background. But he's a silky player. I've always liked him. I've always liked him as a player. Now, apparently he wants a 3-year contract on a similar wage to what he's on right now. So I'll put the question on the poll. First poll of the day. Would you take Dybala on a free? Now, we all know there's no such thing as a free transfer. He would want a massive signing on fee. He's going to want 220 grand a week. He wants a 3-year deal, and it's still going to cost you a lot. Would you take Dybala on a free transfer? I mean, let me know, people. Some of you have probably watched him a little bit more. I like him. I like him, but the wage and the lack of form is what worries me a little bit. I mean, Buenos Aires Guna's saying no, 100% hell no. Do you know what I mean? And he knows. So that worries me. What's his goal scoring record? Let me have a look at his stats. He just seems to have gone downhill the last couple of years with the numbers. So Dybala, I mean, this season, 9 goals, 5 assists in the league. Last year, he only got 4 goals and 3 assists. Year before, he got 11 goals, 6 assists. I mean, his numbers aren't bad for a kind of number 10. He's not the out-and-out, oh, mate, the celebration. Yo, the celebration's elite. I can't lie. He scored a bully at the weekend. Buenos Aires, you're fully hammering him, innit? Is he bad for the national team? Man said the guy is crap. Bluey said, watched Juve a good few times. He's been good this year. Injuries are a concern for him, but also fell out with the coach, so might not be bothered playing. Shibe said he's not the right person for us. Rodney's 28. He turns 29 in November. Feel like he'd suit a false 9 system. Free Thinker said Dybala is 10 times better than Emile Smith-Rowe. Dybala and Jesus. See, the thing is, he represents value for money. That's the problem. And I think Arsenal are bargain hunting. I really do. I think they're bargain hunting. I think it's part of the reason that they want Jesus, 30 million. You know, if you imagine getting Jesus for 30 million and Dybala on a free, to get those two for 30 million would look very good to the Kroenkes. Remember, Mikel Arteta is a pleaser of the Kroenkes. What he does, they seem to like. If he can get as a striker on a free, who I think he would sell shirts at Arsenal. I've got to be honest. I think he would sell shirts. He's a pretty big name in world football. His celebration is pretty iconic on FIFA. You know, kids love that celebration. I think he would appeal to Arsenal. The problem is Man United would offer more money than us. I think Newcastle, if they wanted to start flexing, they could offer big money for him as well. Garbo said, Paulo Diabolical, don't rate him. That's harsh. It's crazy, man. It's crazy that a couple of years ago, I think most of the chat would have taken him. But people don't seem too interested in him now. Big up Garbo with the super chat. If we get Champions League, we should get him, said Yardman. Gunners 2000 said Origi or Dybala. Origi would be a far better signing. Yeah, because he's an out-and-out striker. And he's cheaper. I think he's on around 70 grand a week. And he's not injury prone. Dre said, Curtis almost said puppet. Well, you know, man. You know how it goes, man. They're pulling the strings on him. It's funny, right? Every time we talk about a free agent that's been available, the community haven't really been too on it. I remember when we were talking about Dembele at Barcelona, people were like, nah, injury prone, massive wages, don't want him. And I get why people don't want this because I think we've created a better wage structure and you throw big money at him and it could be a problem. I've got to be honest. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm a little bit 50-50 on this one because I've always kind of liked him as a player. Got to be honest, I'm a fan of him. He's a techie baller, got a lovely left foot, drops in between the lines. He's not really a creative 10 almost, more of a goal-scoring 10. Can play off the wing, play up front, false 9. I don't really know what level he's at now. I haven't seen much of him this season, so I don't like the wage he would be getting. I think if he was getting in for 100 grand a week, maybe, but 220 for Dybala, man, is not overly exciting. But if we signed him, I wouldn't be that disappointed. But because of his injury record, could he handle the Premier League physically? Like Khalid saying, we're being snobbish because I got to be honest, he's better than players at Arsenal in similar positions. He's better than some of the players we've got. So maybe it is me being a bit snobby, turning my nose up at him. I'm more looking at the fact, is he strong enough? Could he handle the Premier League? He's injury prone. And is he worth that kind of wage? So an interesting one. Like I said, 9 goals, 5 assists this year in 23 starts. He's not bad. It's not bad. 14 goal contributions in 23 starts is not a bad season. And they've got a few games left. So he's not having a bad season. He's not. So that's an interesting one. Yeah, we'll end that poll shortly and get into the press conference reaction. Straight RL said, I feel like Dybala is out of his prime, but we take him on a free. I don't think the wages are worth it. People rated Sambi before signing. Now they're dissing Dybala. I think the difference is because of the whole structure of that deal. Okay, taking Dybala on a free is a no-brainer. You'd probably take him because he is a baller. But 220 grand, 3-year deal. Is he physical enough? Does he get injured too much? You've got to kind of look at the whole picture. You know, we don't want that Willian again. You know, as bad as Willian was for us, he'd had a great season. Well, not a great season, a good season the year before. If he's injury prone in Italy, then in the Premier League, he would know the hospital like the back of his hand. And that's the thing. You know, I'm sure he's never played against Burnley away before. Tarkowski and them, man, just elbowing you. You know, it's a bit different. The Prem is not forgiving. Dybala is a second striker, so those numbers are good. I mean, that's my only thing. And maybe I'm getting caught up on the past a little bit. I'm thinking, imagine us having imagine if we had like a Nunes up top or a Jesus up front with Dybala as the second striker. That's a bit saucy, you know. I wouldn't mind seeing that, but maybe I'm getting caught up on the past with Dybala. But you know, I'm not totally against it, but the wage is a problem. Wasim said, Big C, have you seen the new Asensio rumours and Wolves want 100 million for Neves? I mean, when you're asking for 100 million for Neves, you're just trying to scare everyone off and keep him. We know he's not worth 100 mil. They wouldn't get anywhere near that. And I don't want Asensio. I do like Asensio, but he's had massive injuries, man. I don't think he would work in the Prem. Better go for Zaha, same age and Premier League proven. I think the Zaha trainer's gone, man. Gunnar Colt said it's not about being snobbish. It's making sure our wages go where they should and we don't end up with expensive players that don't fit and stop us from getting others. With Mesut Ozil, we spent probably half of that contract trying to get rid of him. Emery tried to get rid of him, but the fans didn't back it. Arteta was backed and they got rid of him. Aubameyang, we gave him the contract that he'd earned. Within a year, people said he's not worth the money, so I know Arsenal can't just go 300 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand. We're not that club. So when we hand out wages, it has to be on the right kind of player. And that's my worry with Dybala. It's not the talent. It's clear that the kid's got talent. But it's the application. Is he going to be a success? Is it a risky signing? It's not about his talent. He's definitely got the talent. But has he got that hunger? Can he stay fit? Can he be a success? Buenos Aires Guna, he's annihilating him. He said, I don't want this wannabe fraud of an Argentine at my club. He lacks cojones. He should be playing for the women's national team. I don't know what it is, Buenos Aires Guna, but I'm kind of getting the feeling you're not the biggest fan of Dybala. Man's come in straight at the traps. Bam, bam, bam. 3 comments just hammering him. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't... Didn't I read a story? I'm sure I read a story that Messi doesn't get on with Dybala for some reason. I don't know how true that is, but... yeah, that's an interesting one. Hey, big up Penalty Spot. Didn't see you on the member stream, man. I'm sure you was busy. And make sure you follow him on Twitch. Follow Dre on Twitch as well. They're both DJing on there. He said, big up Big C. Problem with Jesus and Dybala. The midfield needs to be strong enough to allow these flair players to do what they do best and protect them. 100%. If you play him in the 10 role, he's not going to work his socks off defensively. So then you need a midfield too that can compensate. You can't do that with Granit Xhaka in midfield. I'm not being funny. You got to have a better midfield and an energetic midfield as well. Buenas, what did Dybala do to you? Did you go school together or something? What's this guy done to you, man? Did he get in the youth team squad over you or something, bro? Come on, tell me the reason. Maybe he's just a big letdown for the national team and they don't like him. But I know a lot of people don't rate him, but a lot do. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is second choice. I think Calvert-Lewin, wherever he goes, is going to want to be first choice. That's the problem. He's going to be looking at that England squad thinking, I need to be playing. He wouldn't be a bad second choice, but I think he would want to be first choice. Man said, stole a girlfriend. Why are we fans worried about the wage bill? Bring him in. Listen, and I say this all the time, Iron King. I'm like, listen, why do we turn into accountants? But it's the reality of Arsenal. They'll go and give him 220 grand and then go, oh, by the way, we can't buy that top striker no more because we've blown all our wages on him. So I get you. We shouldn't worry about the wages, but it's Arsenal. We're different, you know. Dominic Calvert-Lewin should stand for don't come to London. Calvert-Lewin, you know. Listen, he's had a bad season and he's injury prone as well. I wouldn't be in a rush to bring Calvert-Lewin to Arsenal. FBM said, at work now, enjoying your stream as always. Big up to the community. Big up FBM. Ish said, we save wages in January, Big C. Signed Dybala. Sam said, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he would rather go to Arsenal than Newcastle. Yeah, I'm sure he would. Go to Newcastle, bro. Go up there and relax. You guys need to get rid of Tavares. I would loan him out. Why would Dybala come to Arsenal? Listen, man, if the wages are there, you know, Premier League, if we're in the Champions League and Man United and Tottenham aren't, maybe that gets him. But I got to be honest, I think we'll get out-muscled in this one because I think if United do want him, they would offer more wages than us, and money talks, people. Let's be real. Mamadou, thank you very much for the super sticker, bro. Feel free to put a comment with it as well if you want, but I appreciate that. Make sure you smash the likes on the video as well. Crypto News said Dybala and Jesus sorts out the forwards for pennies. None of this Osimhen or Nunes crap. See, this is the only thing. Arsenal are going to need to sign, I think, 6 or 7 players in this summer. If Cedric goes, we need a right back. Because of the injury-prone nature of Tierney, I think we need a left-back. Nuno is not good enough to go in the Champions League as cover. Get Saliba back, hopefully. Then in midfield, we need, I think, 2 midfielders because we need an upgrade on Xhaka, and I think El Neni will leave as well on a free. So we need 2 centre mids. We need maybe 2 strikers or a centre forward and a striker that can play on the wing. So I think they will look to penny pinch in certain positions. Now, if you could pull out Dybala and Jesus for £30 million, Dybala on a free, Jesus for 30, you've saved money there to go and spend in other areas. And I think Arsenal will penny pinch in some positions. They're not going to go, right, 70 million striker, 40 million right back, 40 million left back, 60 million. They're not going to spend that kind of money, in my opinion. So they will penny pinch somewhere. El Neni said, the boss loves me, I'll stay. I mean, listen, big up El Neni on his form, but yeah, I wouldn't keep El Neni personally, or Eddie Nketiah, or Lacazette. I would let all 3 of them go. Neil said, Dybala will struggle in a slow league. Corentin Tolisso is better. He is free. Is Tolisso a free this summer? I used to rate him highly. He's had a lot of injury problems as well. Ben said there's been reports for Arthur Melo going to be sold in the summer. Maybe. Will we go back for him? We didn't seem convinced by him in the last transfer window on loan, so we'll have to see on that one. Right, people, lunchtime. Get yourselves ready. Get the syrup ready. There's going to be waffles everywhere. It's that time again. Mickey Ross, the boss, is back. The Teflon Don himself, just as he looked like he was finished and heading for the sack, he rescues himself with a victory against Chelsea and Man United, and he is back, smile on his face, no grey hairs. In fact, we may have one here. Hold on. Oh, yeah, in fact, there's a few here on the sideburns, but hey, we forgive you, man. Mickey Ross, the boss, Coleman music is back, people. Let's see what he's saying in this press conference. I'm sure it's going to put us all to sleep, and I will be skipping through any unnecessary Martin Luther King speeches, or Mikel Luther King as we call him. Safaguna said, I remember a clutch Dybala goal knocking Spurs out of the Champions League. We never forget. Thanks, Paulo. You know what? Let me end the poll. 62% of you. I better not say this too loud because Brenner's here is Guna's fuming. 62% of you said you would take him. You take the gamble. You're like me. You're on the hype train. I do like Dybala. I can't help it. Free transfer, man. I think I'd take a risk. But you know what? If we didn't take him, I wouldn't be overly concerned. But if we did, I'd dress it up and make it look like a great signing, as you do. If he goes to Man U, I tell my Man United friends, listen, he's washed up, man. He's 29 in November. He's injury prone. Nah, I don't want him. If he signs for Arsenal, I'm like, listen, mate, he's an elite Argentinian, great left foot, can play in the 10, can play up front. You know how we do. We're shameless people. Abhinav said, I watch Juve every week. Dybala is bang average in Serie A. Imagine him in the Prem. I so hope Arsenal sign him. Yeah, no, I don't want him now. No, no, listen, I don't think we're going to sign him anyway. I don't think we're going to sign him, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think we'll be outbid when it comes to transfers in terms of the wages. I think if Man United want him, they'll offer more. Coutinho's the better bet. I don't know how you manage to do these press conferences all the time. Listen, like I said, I'm a bit, tender today, people. I went to a wedding yesterday. It was a long night. So if this waffle gets too heavy, I will be skipping through it very quick. Mikel Arteta faced the media on Friday ahead of our Premier League clash with West Ham at the London Stadium on Sunday afternoon. One thing I just wanted to check is, do Tottenham play before us or afterwards this weekend? Tottenham play before, so they're at 2 o'clock against Leicester. Now, I think Leicester will make a lot of changes for that game because Leicester have nothing to play for in the Premier League. So I can't see Brendan Rodgers going full strength because why would he? And that might play into Tottenham's hands. Now, the interesting thing is, will West Ham rotate? They lost 2-1 yesterday. The interesting thing is, we beat Man United Saturday. They've played 2 games since we played our last game. They played Chelsea on Sunday and got beat. They played Eintracht Frankfurt last night and got beat. So they should be a lot more tired than us. We need to be on the front foot against West Ham. We really do. Let's hear what the manager had to say on Bukayo Saka's injury. He said, hopefully he will be fine. He had some issues in the final part of the game. He's recovered well. We expect him to be available. That's good news. As I said, people were saying that it was a kick rather than a muscular problem. So I think Saka, as he said, will be fine. On Thomas Partey's recovery, we all saw him in the gym on the running machine. He said he's progressing, but he had a significant injury, a recurring injury as well. We don't expect him to make progress that quickly to see him this season, but hopefully I am wrong. So it looks as if we're not going to see Partey, despite seeing him on that running machine. It doesn't look like he'll be back this season. Bakako. Butchering man's name, Sad to see the reliance on Saka when Pepe is rearing to go. Trust isn't there, exit incoming. It's sad, isn't it? We've said it before. As long as Saka can walk, he will play ahead of Pepe. Doesn't matter how injured he is. Jashar said, big up Curtis. Buenos Aires Gunnar has just smashed up his laptop. He's seen that 68% saying they'll sign him. He said, no, I'm not having it. I've had enough. Curtis is humour heavy. You have to. To be an Arsenal fan, you need humour. Trust me, you need a sense of humour to get through what we've had. Ansar, I refuse to, come on. Man saying Drogba's better than Henry. Behave yourself. He's clutching finals, but overall, no chance. World Cup winner, European Cup winner, Champions League winner, invincible, best player to ever play in the Prem. That's not even a debate. Right, let's move on, people. On Tomiyasu, he said, you only know that when a player's been out for a long spell, when you put him in on the pitch. He hasn't started any matches. He's lacked a bit of time on the pitch, so it's a decision we will make tomorrow. Listen, for me, there's no decision to make. There is no decision to make. And I can't, Pierre, Ansa needs a timeout. Abhinav obviously agrees as a Chelsea fan, but nah, he's capping. He is capping. Tomiyasu has to play this weekend for me. I'm sorry. And I know people go, oh, he hasn't been back that long. He hasn't played. Listen, he's been back in training for 2 weeks. He came on for 6 minutes against United. I'm sure he will have played a behind closed doors game or an under 23 game. He has to play against West Ham. Simple. He has to start at right back. Now, whether you leave Tavares at left back or you move Cedric to left back, that's a different conversation. But Tomiyasu has to play against West Ham. He's back now. You know what I mean? How long do you need to hold him back? So there's no decision to make. He needs to start. On whether it's a 2-horse race for top 4, he said, I don't think so. There will be some twists and turns. I mean, let's not cap here. It's a 2-horse race. United are out of it. West Ham are out of it. Wolves are out of it. It's Arsenal or Tottenham. But he's got to be polite and say that. Man said, Omar, send him to the gulag. Hey, listen, it's a good community here. We can have that banter. It's fine. It's fine. I get it. You're repping your boy Drogba, man. I understand, but we all know the answer. On how big a third straight win would be, he said, I think in the league where you're able to Win consecutively away and at home. It gives you a huge platform. We have some momentum now. We have to make the most out of it, 100%. Play Tomiyasu. We can't play Nuno and Cedric. We can't. If Cedric is leaving, probably that means Bellerin is staying. Bellerin has to go as well, man. Bellerin has to go as well. But they might not be able to afford the wage. And what happens? If Betis turn around and he says, I want 100 grand, what I'm getting at Arsenal, and they say we can't pay it, what happens then? For me, you loan him out and just get him out for another year. Get somebody to pay something for him. Don't disrespect Henry the GOAT. And this is a Liverpool fan saying that, you know, so I respect it. Even Sauno. You remember Henry running around Jamie Carragher, terrorising him. Nick, who said, Big C, we should get Reece James from Chelsea. They need funds. Listen, they wouldn't sell him. They're going to be overtaken by new owners, so they wouldn't sell him. Earl said, big up Big C, get that naughty step out. I know, man. Listen, I get it. I've had that argument before with Chelsea fans, but we all know. The goal record speaks for itself. On West Ham, playing between the Europa League semi-final matches, he said they've been doing that all season, and they've been really good in both competitions. They have a big squad as well. They have many different options to change their players and still maintain their level. So I don't see that. We have played games Wednesday night and Saturday at 12:30. We have managed to beat them. So I don't think about that. Yo, I'm telling you that. Man's licking shots off at Moyes with this. Didn't this manager like 2 weeks ago say, oh my days, how dare you give us a 12:30 kickoff after a Wednesday night game, as he said there. But man's taking the whole excuse away from David Moyes. Man said they've been doing it all season. They've got a big squad. You know, but their squad's probably smaller than Arsenal's in terms of quality. Man, this is the first diss track of the day. Man said, Moyes, I don't want to hear no excuses. Track 3, Cone Man Music Business. Yeah, I think Moyes did. Didn't Moyes sell him to Arsenal? I'm sure Moyes was the manager when we bought him. Terrible deal that was, by the way, but we won't talk about that. I was devastated seeing Cesc Fabregas leave and Mikel Arteta come in. It's like selling your Lamborghini and buying a Ford Escort. But anyway, we'll forget about that. Yeah, man's firing shots at West Ham. Man said, what? They've been doing it all year. They've got a big squad. Yo, their squad's small, bro. They ain't got much in their squad, I'm telling you. Yeah, man. Do you know what I mean? You can't look for that. We've had we haven't even played that many midweek games because we ain't been in Europe. And we got knocked out the cup. So, track 3, shut your mouth, Scottish. Nah. Maybe he didn't like the way Moyes did training, you know? Mikel Arteta escort. Maybe he didn't like his training sessions, you know. He's gone in on him, but be interesting. I'm sure they'll be having tea and coffee after the game. On improving since playing West Ham away last season, he said, hopefully a lot, especially what we did in the first 20 or 30 minutes of that game that we put ourselves. Weren't we 2 or 3-0 down to them last year? And then we came back, and I think we got a draw. He said, it's true, we reacted phenomenally. But we don't want to start the game. We want to start the game in a different way. Oh, here we go. On Granit Xhaka's renaissance. He's turned it all around, people. He's turned it all around. You know Granit, he scores that belter. And I love the goal. Don't get me wrong. The goal was a banger. But the first thing I have to ask is, why does he not score that goal more often? He's clearly got a decent left foot. Why does he not shoot more often? Or why does he not score more often? I wouldn't quite say it's a renaissance, you know. I think any hope of Xhaka being sold in the summer is completely out the window. Mr. Foley, who said, big up from Halsden. Big up, bro. Hope you're well. Zay12 said, playing PS4 and listening to Big C. Good times. Hey, FIFA Team of the Season starts this weekend, people. So I need to get the Twitch account up and running with the gaming. I really do. Arteta's mind games. Yeah, exactly. Right, let's get into what he had to say on Xhaka's renaissance. He said it's due to things that are happening in his life, his private life. He's a father now. He's been through a lot. He's been through difficult moments here, and he's found a lot of support internally to deal with certain situations. His character, the way he approaches problems, how he's willing to change things, improve constantly to become a better person and a better player. So credit to him for what he's done. I mean, Lord of mercy, this guy. We're never getting rid of this guy. I'm telling you, we are never, ever getting rid of this guy. He absolutely... Do you think he would ever talk about Pepe like that? Ever. Like, man saying he's a better person, he's a better player, his character, he's become a father, everything. I never heard that when Pepe became a father or when Gabriel became a father. Jeez, this guy Granit, I'm telling you, he will get a testimonial at Arsenal. I can see it already. It wouldn't even surprise me if the armband ends up back on his arm. He absolutely loves this guy. Loves him. He's going nowhere. Arteta will force Kroenke to make a Xhaka statue. We're stuck with him, man. I'm telling you. Abby said, I had a dream of Xhaka. He loves him. He's renaissance at Arsenal. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. He's had probably his best season at Arsenal along with last year, but is it still at the level that we need? No. Let's be honest. Most Arsenal fans wanted him sold. If he becomes a squad player next year, I can get my head around that. But he shouldn't be starting next season. If we get Champions League, you can't have Granit Xhaka being an integral part of your midfield. He's not good enough, and he needs upgrading. It's like having an old iPhone. You need the new one with the new camera. Crypto news. All I want to see next season is Goldbridge Conference League watch along, so West Ham win every game. Listen, they're gonna have to make sure they get in the in Europe, man, the way they're playing. Right, let's move on from the Xhaka love fest. On Jurgen Klopp's new contract, he said, we have enough deciding what's right for us, so whatever other teams do, I'm assuming it's to keep them at their best level. Jurgen has shown what he offers the club in the past 6 years. I mean, why even ask him that question? He's got nothing to do with Jurgen Klopp, mate. Jurgen Klopp's way up there. I don't think Arteta needs to be concerned with Jurgen Klopp. You saw them to have their little Barney at Anfield. Captain Sal said, Jurgen, my manager, I think it's a massive signing for Liverpool to keep him there longer. On playing after Tottenham in the next few weeks, said, I think everybody knows about that. Last time they played before us, we didn't take advantage, and it's gone the other way round as well. So just focus. It doesn't matter if you play first or second. Win your game. Win your game. Simple as that. On the benefits of Tottenham losing, I mean, obviously, if they lose, puts us in a better position. If we win, yes. If they lose and we win, obviously, we have one game less. Most obvious question ever. Does it benefit you if Tottenham lose? Of course it does, mate. If I was answering that question, I'd be like, what do you think? Do you know what I mean? Of course it benefits us if they lose. What a waste of a question. Xhaka love fest, man, is painful. It's absolutely painful. Omar, jeez! I want to know what Omar's doing, because Omar's just coming in the chat like this now, Man's making it rain in the chat after all these months and years. Big up Omar, man. I appreciate it. Said, what? Omar, is that actually you? Has someone took over your account? That can't be Omar. You don't come in the chat and do that. That's painful. I got to get that off the screen. I can't even read it. Man's coming in with Drogba's final records. Don't do that. We know that's the one little, grey spell of Thierry Henry's career, but we prefer not to speak about that. We keep that quiet. Omar, making it rain and showering down on Thierry Henry. That's painful. Yeah, man, he might need 3 minutes on the naughty step for that, man. You can't do that in an Arsenal chat. Omar definitely chose violence. Violence and cash. Right, let's move anyway. Let's get into the waffle settings. On West Ham playing in Europe, they've asked him this. Didn't they just ask him this in a different way? It's very demanding. You watch yesterday's game and the chances that they created and the chance they missed could have been different. He's given them no excuse, by the way, not one. He would be crying like a baby if that was us. On the benefits of a season outside of Europe, he needs to answer this question very carefully. He said, it's what we had. I said we're going to fight to make the most out of it and try to play in it our favor. Try to play it in our favor. Try to take advantage. He treaded carefully, because if he tried to dress that up as some sort of positive, I would have been going mad. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to hear this guy saying, being out of Europe's helped us. I would have been like, bro, you took us out of Europe. But he answered it well. Omar said the numbers don't lie. Omar, you've changed, man. You've changed. He's coming in on violence. He's making it rain. He's dissing Thierry Henry on a Friday afternoon. You just can't do that. You got to calm down, Omar. I don't know what's going off. I think he's been hacked. Your eyes are lying, Omar. Big up Fitz. On the new experience for players of playing under pressure, he said for most of them, it's been like this for the last 2 or 3 months, where everyone is talking about it and they can feel the importance of every match. This is what we want in April and May for things to play for. Can they handle it? I always call Arsenal no pressure FC. We're good when there's no pressure. Now we're under pressure because it's back in our hands again. 2 weeks ago, everybody said Palace, Brighton, Southampton. I thought Southampton and Brighton were definite wins. Palace away a little bit tricky, and we crumbled. Then we played United and Chelsea, who people might have thought we would lose to, and we managed to beat them both. Now we're under pressure again because people are looking at West Ham going, they're struggling. They've only got one centre-back fit. They've played 2 games in the last few days. Can we handle that pressure? You know? And what's changed from this time last year? We have very different players in the squad, different environment. I think the unity exists. Is very beneficial. Obviously, how the team has evolved, the understanding of what we want to do is better. It's blah blah blah, and it's blah blah blah. I'm not gonna read all. People saying Omar's fasting. He's not thinking properly. a man's hungry and seeing things. You know what I mean? Started dissing Henry. Don't worry, bro. You'll be good, man. You'll be good. And if he's a better manager now than last year, he said, I hope I am, and the same tomorrow. This is my aim every day. Listen, let me give him a little bit of credit. I think he's a better manager than he was last year, but is he a good enough manager? That's a different question. We'll see at the end of the season. Xhaka will be assistant manager when he retires, him and Arteta. DV said, I think Chelsea and United games were more pressure than Brighton and Southampton. They were, but they kind of weren't. They were because of what happened against Brighton and Southampton. But I mean in the sense, if we'd gone to Stamford Bridge and lost, people would have said, Chelsea are better than us. They've got a better team, better squad, better manager. Where you can make an excuse for losing to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. But you can't excuse losing to Brighton at home, you know. So I get what you're saying. More pressure in terms of better teams, but less pressure in terms of... I think United was a lot of pressure because United were so bad and just been spanked by Liverpool. But Chelsea, most people expected us to lose that. Part of a manager's job must be to soak up the pressure and get the players to play without fear. It's Arteta's responsibility, no getting away from that. He has to motivate this team. He really does. Shah said, big up Curtis, what kind of foolish questions are these? And Omar, I see you found my wallet. Give it back. Hey, big up, man. Big up. Omar, hey, listen, man. He's been in the community from day dot, so big him up. But he's, yeah, I don't know what's going off, man. But Jashar, big up yourself, bro. Listen, the questions are always foolish. Oh, were you a better manager than last year? Imagine him saying no. No, I think I'm worse, mate. You know, I'm just picking up 6 mil and, yeah, you know, I'm ripping this team apart. Yeah, of course he's going to say yeah. And whether he knows his plan for the summer. Man said, yes, full stop. That next question. Any more stupid questions? Oh, do you know your plans for summer? Yeah. Like, why didn't he follow it up and say, can you give us... These questions are a joke. On if he's identified talents for the summer transfer window, despite where we finish, he said, it's not as easy as that, but the plan is very clear. Listen, they'll have a list. If we get in the Champions League, if we get in the Europa League, can we get that player? Can we get this player? Blah, blah, blah. Man said yes is the best answer he's ever given. It's the shortest and the most straight to the point. That is for sure. Big up Ali Jason. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, Curtis, this top 4 race should be easy for Arsenal from this position. Anything else, the manager will be in question. We got to be ruthless and slap West Ham this weekend. Listen, I've said it before and I will say it again. This is the easiest 4th place that you will see over the next few years, and I've probably seen in the last few years. Nobody can get hold of it. Man United have pulled their hamstring. Tottenham are all over the place. They've rolled their ankle. You know, everyone's got it in their hands and throwing it to the next team. All you got to do is find a little bit of consistency and it's yours. Beat West Ham, beat Leeds, and probably draw at Tottenham, and we get 4th, in my opinion. And that should not be impossible to do. West Ham are tired. They've lost their last couple of games. They played last night. We haven't played since Saturday. They've only got 1 centre-back. Leeds are in a relegation battle. Get a draw at Tottenham, and I think you're good to go. And I think Tottenham will lose to Liverpool next week. So we'll have to see. FBM said, I have a bad feeling, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm scared of tomorrow. Well, Sunday. But I hear you. Because when you start to believe in Arsenal is when they let you down the most. So hopefully they can change that. Big up D Guna, thank you for the super chat, bro. Kimani said just a little bit of consistency. That's it. On Hector Bellerin, good question. He said any player with a contractual obligation with us both ways is our player, and he's considered our player. So every plan is considered. If that possibility, here they go with the spelling mistakes again. If that possibility exists and how they could fit into our team. Come on, at least spell check before you put this on the website, man. You're a major football team in the Prem, and every week these lot have got spelling mistakes. It's crazy, but yeah, that's just such a robotic answer, innit? Oh, he's contracted to the club, so he's still considered our player. Like, nah, bro, we want to know, is there a possibility Hector Bellerin comes back in the summer, or do you expect him to join Real Betis? That's how the question should have been asked. But they won't ask it like that. Apparently, I missed a super chat. AYM FIFA saying, I cannot see it anywhere, bro. I'm scrolling all the way up. If I did miss it, apologies. Just put it in as a normal comment. I've scrolled all the way through and I still can't see it, so apologies, bro. Mikel's smiling in the picture knowing he's serving waffles. Yeah, exactly. We're getting pure waffle as well. Right, let's carry on through this spell-checked waffle settings. On whether West Ham and Leicester will rest players, he said it's a decision on how they manage their squad, how they get the best out of their squad, how close they are to, of reaching something they have to prioritise. You have to respect that decision. On whether that makes it difficult to prepare, he said, we are guessing. We don't know what they will think, what they think is better to prepare. All we are doing is preparing for the game in a normal way, knowing it could vary. I mean, listen, if Moyes rotates, that helps us. So it's not a problem. You know, it should... We're hoping that he rotates, to be honest. It's from Jashar. I think I read out Jashar's dinner, bro. I think I read yours saying Omar's found your wallet. 4th place is a hot potato. No one is hungry. Bro, everyone's just dashing it around everywhere. Oh, it was the one from Jashar. Yeah, I did read that, bro. I did read that out. I did read it out. Big up football heroes. Hope you're well. Arsenal FC football said we are making top 4. Xhaka and El Neni is hot. That's our key. They're doing their thing at the moment. WS said Big C, we should get Keller from PSG. Do you know what? I've never been a big fan of that guy. Not the biggest fan of him. But we'll see. On Saka's mental strength after the Euros, he said the first 2 conversations I had with him were straight after the incident. Southgate was really helpful as well. He had Bukayo in his hands. He had him in the palm of his hands, people. The star boy just cupped him like a, just cupped him. Oh, star boy Saka, I've got you in my hands. Ah, dear. Southgate had him in his hands at that moment, and they were really caring and supportive of him. So by the time he joined us, he was in a really good place. Obviously, he got all the support and love and help in any way that he needed to overcome that situation. And it's down to him and his family around him. Listen, he's dealt with it well. You know, that could have really damaged his career, what happened in the summer, but he's bounced back from it. So big him up, man. Big him up. Saka is Southgate's stepson. He loves him, man. He absolutely loves him. Man said rockabye baby. He's like a big baby, isn't he, Saka? No, but he's recovered well. That could have really pulled his career downhill, and he's handled it. On the pressure young players face with England, he said, yeah, but I think they're doing it at their clubs. It's really important. The demands is not that high. They are already... So again, the step of the demands is not that high. They are already key and important. Let me skip through. On facing Everton the final day of the season, he said, as you said, the manager looks at their next match. You already answered your own question. Oh, dear me. On Tomiyasu's ability with his weaker foot. Well, when we follow the player and we identify him as one of the candidates, obviously it's one of the things that I came across. It gives you a lot of solutions. Not only because you can use both feet, but you can play right centre-back, left centre-back. He can play left-back. It gives you enormous variability. Tomiyasu. And if he spoke to Tomiyasu about using his weak foot, he said, yes, I asked him how he's being coached. It's always very interesting. I mean, surely, man, it comes from being young and you just learn yourself, really. Oh, Tommy, by the way, mate, what's your left foot like? Oh, go on then, I'll sign you, mate. He said it's elite. Yep, get him in. 5-star weak foot on FIFA. Man signing players from FIFA. Man said, boy, 3-star skill moves. He's got that 5-star weak foot. Get him in. Buy now, people. Get him in. Man had a conversation with him about his left foot. I mean, boy, riveting convo. Oh, it's finally over. And if Saka is our penalty taker, he said, well, tomorrow, if someone has to take a penalty, he will take it again. But it happened quite naturally in the Chelsea game, and he took it. And the next game, we had another one, and hopefully he can continue to put the ball in the back of the net. Man, just end it. Just end it. I am going to have to eventually start doing this on Twitch because honestly, it's painful reading these press conferences. It's actually hard work, and the questions are an absolute shambles. Gunsham said Southgate will bring the World Cup home. Now, listen, the only way he's bringing the World Cup home is if he steals it and puts it in his suitcase. Let's be real. Southgate ain't winning no World Cup. South London's finally said, I'm full. Bro, I feel sick. I ran out of syrup. These press conferences are a shambles. Let's get a few comments in, then I'm out of here, people. Watch-alongs this weekend. I mean, the fixtures tomorrow are not great. Newcastle, Liverpool, Leeds, Man City. They don't really affect Arsenal. So I'm not sure whether there'll be a watch-along tomorrow. I think it will be Sunday. We may do a double watch-along. I might do the Spurs game before Arsenal. We'll have to see, because obviously that does affect us. Big C, who do you think there will ever be players like Ronaldinho or Neymar? I've said many times, I think the way coaching is nowadays, you're not going to see many players like that. The only place those people may come from are Brazil, because I think they encourage that. Maybe France, but not really in England, I got to be honest. Jamar said, Liverpool v Spurs watch along next week. I'll do that, because that's a massive game. Eddie and Ketia said, Curtis, I'm going to accept the contract that Mikel offered me. Yeah, I hope not. Newcastle v Liverpool will be interesting. Yeah. Lewandowski and Dybala. Football manager settings, that. I don't think we'll be getting those two in. But listen, how do we approach this West Ham game, people? For me, I think you've got to play. I think Ramsdale will continue in goal. I think you then go with Tomiyasu at right back. You go with Gabriel and Ben White at centre back. Tavares or Cedric at left back. It's a tough one because they were both so bad against Man U. I think I would stick with Nuno. I got to be honest, because Cedric's leaving. It's not his natural position. And I think if he's leaving in the summer, you've got to try and keep Tavares' confidence high. But the problem is, Jared Bowen is good going forward, and can Nuno handle him? I would probably stick with Nuno. I would go with Nuno ahead of Cedric. Chuckle Brothers in midfield, keep them together. Odegaard in the 10. I would play Martinelli left wing instead of Smith Rowe. I thought Smith Rowe was poor in the last game. He played well against Chelsea, didn't play well against United. I'd bring Martinelli back in for his pace. I think against a tired West Ham team, you don't want to see a fresh Martinelli running at you. So I'd go Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right. I mean, I almost don't want to play Eddie and Ketia, but you've got no choice really, unless somebody just said there, play Martinelli up front. I mean, I just don't think he will do that. But I get you. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Omar said, I'm here to apologise for my heinous crime. The apology accepted. We needed that apology. You know? I'm telling you, someone must have hacked your account or something. I'm not happy with that last comment. Chuckle Brother settings. Cedric left back for me. Nuno is shaky. I hear you. That's the issue. Some people saying go free at the back. Bram said Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Gabriel White, Tavares, Xhaka, Nenny, Odegaard, ESR, Saka, Martinelli. I wouldn't mind that. I think Eddie's got to play because of what he's done, but he's somebody for me, shouldn't be a guaranteed starter, but he has brought some energy to us up front. And he just doesn't seem to like playing Martinelli up front for some reason. I get the impression, like you said, Chico, that the way he was talking about Tomiyasu was kind of like, I don't want to risk him yet. You know, he seemed to be talking as if he's not quite ready to start yet, which would be disappointing. But, you know, maybe they don't want to risk him. Nuno is the Black Cole Jenkinson. Oh, my days. What a terrible player he was. Shaquille said, I think Bellerin will leave. I don't think he'd be happy sitting on the bench. Surely he watched how good Tomiyasu has been. And when you go on loan for a year and play every week, it's very difficult to come back to a team and sit on the bench. and he knows he'll be on the bench if Tomiyasu's fit. So I think Bellerin will leave, even if he goes on loan back to Betis for another year and they pay his wages, and maybe, I think he's got a year left and he'll go at the end of that. His opposite foot isn't ready to start. Yeah, that weak foot, man. There are just 5 games. Where is the risk? I mean, he might be thinking if he breaks down in the first game of starting, you've lost him for the next 4, including a North London derby. Bear in mind, one of Tottenham's best players is Heung-min Son, who our right back will be playing against now. Imagine Son playing against Cedric. That's not something you want to see. So I think he probably may not risk him. I got to be honest. Would you put Lacazette back in? I wouldn't. I don't think there's any reason to at the moment. Smooth one, J.A. Curtis. I got my tickets for the Arsenal v Chelsea Orlando trip. Make sure you roll out, bro. I need to actually get all of that sorted because I heard the tickets were out. So I'm going to check that out after this. Big up to you. People, I'm out of here. I need to relax for the rest of the day, man. I've still got a bit of a heavy head from the wedding yesterday. My friend's wedding that I went to. Big up AD for his wedding. Great wedding. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, people. Lick down that like button on the way out. And I'll be back. I should be back on tomorrow, actually. But on Saturday, we'll probably do maybe a bit of a preview for the West Ham game. Go into a little bit more detail. And then Sunday, we'll be back for the watch-along. Big game. I may even do the Tottenham game before the Arsenal game, as obviously the Tottenham games have got a big effect on us. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, people. Take care. And I will see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.